Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Bill from Good Old Days Gaming, and welcome to a Let's Play of Force Gemini on the N64. Developed by Rare in 1999. Probably one of their most underrated games from their golden age. Alright, let's go. I just had to hear that music. If you look here, I have a file called Speed in 6.5 hours. I actually checked it. It's 100% complete, and I did practice a little bit just to get used to the controls. I'm going to delete this and rename a file 2018, because that's just what I do whenever I replay games these days. But yeah, I don't remember much about this game, but there was a time where I was able to beat it in about 6.5 hours. And as far as the speed run, that's definitely not good. I think the world record for 100% is like 4 hours, and any percent is like 3.5 hours or something like that. 3:26 to be exact. But here's our Force Gemini team. There's some cool 90s things. One of my favorite things is look in the windshield of this spaceship. There's Lupus the dog. There's Juno, one of the twins, the Jet Force twins. And look at those graphics, dude. And there's Vela, that hot piece of ass. No, but I did see it briefly. There's dice in the windshield. Remember that fad in like the early 2000s, late 90s? The classic N64 keyboard typing with just polygon fists. Her name is Vela. I don't know if I said that, but there's the dice. This game just has very bad graphics and animations, actually. In cutscenes. I don't know, coming from what we've seen today, it's just like, wow. So here, those bears are called tribals. If you've ever played this game, you know to hate them, because one of the requirements of this game is collecting every single tribal, which they're collectibles, but you're basically freeing them when you collect them, because they're under slave labor of these ant creatures. And here we have the spawn ship, which we'll learn more about as the game progresses. Barely noticeable, but Juno ushered them on. So you can tell where this is going if you've never played this game. I'm pretty sure at all times you can see up Vela's skirt. Like, I'm not even just saying that to be perverted, but I'm pretty sure you can. Of course, it's N64 graphics, though, so it's like, you can't really tell. I don't know why I felt like mentioning that, but I mean, I'm sure at some point you're gonna notice it. Alright, we're abandoning ship, and I don't think we ever see it again in the game, and here's the character select screen, yet another one that has great music. Everybody else has left, we're in control of Juno. So this is Goldwood, the first planet. Probably the very first thing you'll notice about this game is its highlighting feature is its music. There are some planets that we're gonna go to later. Actually, in this episode, the second level has amazing music, probably the best in the game. But there's so many good tracks, and I mean, that's to be expected from 90s Rare. And here we go. So this game is a third-person shooter with first-person elements. Welcome, Juno. We've been expecting you. Vela and Lupus came charging through not so long ago. Feisty pair, aren't they? I'm Magnus. So up ahead, we're going to find the Tribal King in his hut. Yeah, he kind of just tells us how to advance. I'm going to try to not view unnecessary cutscenes, because there's a lot of unskippable cutscenes in this game. I think if you play the Japanese version, you can skip certain cutscenes that you can't in this version. But for example, there's Jeff, the tribal king, and he could show us a cutscene, but I'm gonna skip it. All we want in this hut is over here, this thing. It's a Gemini capacity increase. That thing on the bottom left of the screen is our life bar, and we basically just added one notch to it. And this is how you move around in first person. I'm gonna be doing that a lot, because it's just easier to maneuver that way. I was trying to avoid talking to you! Yeah, so once again, he's just kind of telling us how things go. The Jet Force pistol, which is all we have right now. Oh man, I've mashed A too many times. Great start! Alright, let's just go. Get things going here. Oh, I think there's a cutscene here.
Goldwood, Forest World. Liberate this once peaceful planet from Mizar and his evil drones. Colored gems can be collected. These will increase your health. Beware of Mizar's soldier drones. They remain on Goldwood in great numbers. Though weak, they often travel in groups. Don't be caught off guard by sniper drones. They use the treetops as ambush points. Pick them off using manual targeting. These crates contain ammunition. Collect them to increase your supplies. Across the level you will find the tribals. This bear-like race has been enslaved by Mizar. Free as many tribals as you possibly can. When you have completed your objectives, find the takeoff pad where your ship awaits. You are now one step closer to Mizar's lair.
It's a pretty cool voice. I don't know why it's a robot, to be honest, but here we go. This is the Outset Area of Goldwood. Each planet has several areas, many of which we're going to have to revisit later on in the game. But that voiceover basically just explained the entire concept of the game, which is why I want to skip all unnecessary cutscenes. So every ant you destroy is going to drop, depending on how they die, they usually drop a gun piece like that, and depending on if you have your pistol or machine gun, which we'll get momentarily, whichever one you have equipped, watch out! Yeah, those tribals are evil. You can see every time I pick one up, there's either, it shows you how many are remaining, how many you've saved, and how many died. And they're so stupid that, okay, did you see that grenade he just tossed? That happens more than, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's so unfortunate, especially if you spent like 30 minutes trying to collect them all, and like you got 2 remaining and then one of them blows up and you have to reload the whole level. But we want to come down here. Luckily in that first area, there's a lot of areas, Life Force doors. You may have noticed that cutscene where it showed the red lock turning to green. Life Force doors are basically dependent on, once you destroy all enemies in an area, that door becomes unlocked. However, they're strangely programmed. Like, I think at one of the later planets we'll see certain doors are they only register like the last spawned enemies. So you could run through an entire area not killing anything except for the very last few enemies that spawn, and it'll still count as you destroyed everybody, and the door will unlock. So if you ever watch a speedrun of this game, you'll see runners take advantage of that at all times. So here's our yellow key. There's many keys we're going to be collecting throughout our adventure. And this is one area where we actually can save all the tribals. As you can see, we just got the last one. But remember, this is the outset of Goldwood. There's other areas of Goldwood. I think there's the Rim, the Interior, and the Lodge. The Rim and the Lodge we can't get until later. Interior we're coming up on. But you can see moving around in third person is sometimes helpful. They did a really good job with the auto-aim. And it's also faster. It goes with the same GoldenEye and Perfect Dark programming, where for some reason sidestepping while holding forward makes you run faster. Which, I love that. I've always loved that. Ever since GoldenEye. And here we have another Gemini Life Force capacity thingy. And as you may have guessed, that little wheel down there eventually will become a full circle. And there you go, that's completing the first area, very tutorial-esque. Alright, now this is kind of an in-between section. It's not named anything, but it's still Goldwood. And this is where the N64 fallacy comes into play. Lots of N64 games have this, where you're just running around empty space. Because back then, I mean, it was our first go at 3D games, right? On a console, anyway, a home console. And, memory was very limited, with the N64 especially. So they built these big, vast environments, which are fun to explore. Like, back then, it was amazing to see all these things, and for the first time, exploring a 3D environment. But in retrospect, coming even from the GameCube, and definitely any generation after that, you could read this if you want. I'm just gonna not read it. He's telling us about the door behind him, which we can't do anything about yet. That's actually one of the more irritating sections of the game. There's a few of those. It's a Floyd mission, because that robot picture, his name is Floyd. We're gonna be collecting him later. But yeah, he mentioned Vela left a red key for us, so let's head this way. But yeah, what I was saying is, many N64 games have these giant spaces where basically all you're doing is running around and there's not much going on. Luckily, this game has a fantastic soundtrack, and it's just fun. So here's our first red key door. There's a giant bug in here. The story of this game, I mean, it's basically all about the tribals and the ants. For some reason, these ants, which are under control of some evil warlord called Mizar, they're taking over and enslaving the tribals. And it's up to the Force Gemini team to save them all, I guess. So we got our machine gun. We're also going to be able to assign that to a hotkey, but I'll do that a little bit later on when we get some other weapons and it becomes more useful to do that. And in typical video game fashion, when we get a new item, it's going to want us to use it right away with this unique switch. It's a time-activated thing. It only opens with the machine gun. I don't think it's possible to open it with any other weapon because you have to shoot it, what was it, 4 or 5 times? In rapid succession, and the machine gun's the only thing capable. You can see the thing to the left there. Whenever you see those little lights shine up from the door, that indicates you're leaving or entering a new area. So now we're in the interior, and luckily we can get all the tribals in this area too. I was just looking around, I thought there was another capacity crate. That's what these are. Machine gun capacity crate increased. So you're going to want to collect those anytime you come across them. I love the machine gun. That's going to be my primary weapon throughout this entire game. Get this tribal before he gets shot. Because once again, that's the one thing about this game you never want to happen, is to have the tribals die. There are some ROM hacks that change the programming, so killing the tribals is how you win, rather than collecting them. Which is kind of interesting, but I've personally never played the hacks. Alright, we got some sniper drones. I like to use the pistol to pick them off, it's just more accurate. This song is kind of neat, but it's very jungle themed. It's not one of the more catchy ones. Catchier? I don't know how to describe that, but... Alright. Yeah, you want to be very conservative with your machine gun ammo, because these red crates here are a full... Oh, that said full machine gun ammo, okay. But yeah, anytime you see a red ammo crate, it means full ammo for whatever weapon, but you won't know until you pick it up what weapon it is. Yellow ammo crates just fill a certain portion of ammo. And I think that's the last full machine gun we'll see for a while in this level, so that's why I'm saying it's very important to be conservative with your machine gun. And the best way to do that is to have it equipped at all times whenever you're picking up guns dropped by the ants. Alright, life force door activated. I think we got all the tribals in this area so far. I used to know this game like the back of my hand. I've practiced Goldwood a little bit just to get used to the controls again. There's another capacity crate. But later on, I don't remember some of the other areas as much. I have watched a speedrun fairly recently, and I keep kind of rewatching it. But, you know, watching somebody good play a game doesn't translate. Even if you know exactly what to do, it's easy to forget when you actually play it yourself. Got another sniper drone up here. We don't actually have to kill the sniper drones, but it's kind of fun to do so. Well, we're going to see a little bit later, in this particular area, killing the sniper drones activates a certain life force door that we can't reach with Juno. And killing the ants on the ground activates a different life force door that we're actually going to be going through. So it's kind of neat. Again, kind of just going back to the N64 days where exploration was in adventure games was just a lot of fun, and you didn't really need to pack every area full of stuff. See, there it is over there. There's a huge chasm that we can't cross. And that gets into something else I could talk about. Each of the Gemini team has a special ability. Juno, if you notice, he has crazy legs. He's capable of walking on lava without taking damage. Vela, some people call her Vela. I don't know the correct pronunciations. I'm trying to pick off this sniper guy before I go forward, because these guys spawn. Oh, whoops. That was the life force door that we can't activate yet. But see, you would think there would be a full machine gun ammo, or at least some machine gun ammo here, considering that's what you use to take them, but no, that thing's full pistol. And when you run out of machine gun ammo trying to take down waves of aerial fighters like that, it really sucks, because your pistol, you may have noticed, it kind of starts out quick, but then it overheats and you can only shoot it very slowly. These guys you want to be careful for too, because they try to shoot and kill the tribals, those brown ants. And areas like these are kind of tricky because there's so many crates and the N64 camera is just wonky. So it's easy to skip and miss a tribal, and you definitely don't want to do that. I'm pretty sure there's one remaining somewhere. They could be annoying too because they start to run out of their hiding spots if they think they're safe. There he is, I knew there was one more. Nice, 3 remaining, and I know exactly where they are. They're right by the exit door. Alright, this is invulnerability, temporarily. It's very useful for these guys in particular, because you notice they're doing barrel rolls and shooting like crazy. And your health meter in this game it's kind of very subtle down in the corner, so even when you're taking tons of damage, it's very hard to notice unless you're staring directly at it. Like, it's different from a lot of games. That's a full health Gemini. They increase your health to max, and here's the last 3 tribals. So again, pretty tutorial-esque. And I believe that's all for Goldwood now. Off to the second planet. So while this cutscene's going on, I'll finish what I was saying. Vela, or I like to call her Vela, her special ability is that she can swim underwater without running out of air. Nobody else can even swim underwater, they just swim on top of it. And Lupus, the dog, underneath his 4 paws, he has, limited jetpacks, so he can hover for a short time. So if you notice that chasm we saw with the other life force door, knowing that, you know you're gonna have to come back here with Lupus at some point to hover across that gap. And here's the SS Anubis. Some people call it Anubis. Again, I don't know the proper pronunciations, but this is the level that has outstanding music. I think it's pretty quiet once we first land in there, and it's just kind of spaceship noises and stuff, but these are the cutscenes, by the way, that you can't skip. Even in the Japanese version, when you're first flying to a new planet, you can't skip these cutscenes, and they're pretty lengthy. But I think the difference with the Japanese version is when you're revisiting a place, you can skip these cutscenes, which you can't do here in the English version. So later on, I might be cutting these cutscenes out. Obviously, the first encounters I'll leave in, but... Alright, so first thing in the SS Anubis, we got some capacity crates up here, and another life capacity increase. Somebody was just making noises over there, but we got another weapon up here. And there's also another area we can fully complete right now, although it's kind of unnecessary, but I want to do it. So this is the plasma shotgun, very useless weapon, but if used correctly, it's pretty powerful. And this is ammo for it, yeah. So if we take this upper path, we're not supposed to right now, but we can. And I'm gonna do it because it leads to a separate planet that we can't fully complete, but there's a weapon we can grab in that planet, and I want to get it. It's one of the best weapons in the game. So here we are in the hold. We're gonna skip it, but these switches, we want to destroy every single one of them. You can see it says you have deactivated a cell door. But we want to just come through this yellow key door. And now we're in a brand new area, the depository. And we're able to collect all the tribals in here, even though it's kind of more of a bonus area. I briefly practiced this, but it's still very maze-like. You can see there's crates everywhere, so I might lose my way. But I'm gonna be quiet for a minute and let you listen to this song, because it's outstanding. Alright, pretty awesome music, isn't it? There's a few other planets that have just phenomenal soundtracks. I forget, I gotta look up who the composer is. I probably will put it on screen. But I skipped that other door. We want to come in here because there's some easily missable tribals. And you gotta be careful because there's another one of these brown ants. Again, these tribals are annoying because they hide. I forget how many exactly are in here. There's a good example of a lens flare. I'm playing this on an actual N64 console, by the way. I was toying with that for a while, whether I was going to do this on my actual game cartridge or do an emulator. And from my experimenting with it, I don't think that lens flare is visible on emulators. I feel like there's another tribal in here somewhere. There he is, or her. 9 remaining. I think that's right. Let me just do one quick. Nah, I think we're good. There's a ton by your ship where we're headed, so now we got to make our way back to the other door. Okay, I ran around and somehow made my way back to that same door, but this is the door we're trying to get to. Probably cut that out. Here's the ship. Now, you would be tempted to just jump into it, but there's a million tribals here. A million being 9. Kind of a difference. But, yeah, I've been toying about playing this game, and there's gonna be moments where it's gonna be hard to come up with commentary, but, I mean, it's a great game. It's probably one of the only Rareware games that I haven't played on YouTube between my former channel and this one. And I think a lot of people don't know about it still. But there we go, that's all 14. in 5 minutes. It was kind of not good. I got lost. But this is an example of how certain stages have alternate exits that lead to new planets, and that was kind of the thing about the N64 and what made this game so cool, because even though there's a lot of like roaming around and you're basically just going from waypoint to waypoint, it was always neat to find these alternate exits and then discover a brand new planet. Like this particular one, I had no idea about somehow when I was younger. It took a long time for me to 100% this game. And actually, you have to 100% this game in order to even beat it. At least find all the tribals, which requires going to every single planet. And that's actually one of the things that a lot of people hate this game for, because it's required that you find all the tribals, and they're kind of like a collectible, like the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild. Although, definitely not that irritating. So this is the Walkway, that's the name of the planet. It only has one section, unlike many other planets, and the one is called Peak. But again, we don't have the necessary tool required to actually explore this and get all of the tribals, so we're gonna have to come back. The only reason I chose to come here is because there's a weapon called the homing launcher. It's a homing rocket launcher. It's one of the best weapons in the game, and it's gonna be useful later on, and I wanna grab it now, just in case. I can't remember, but we might come across capacity crates for it. And if we can do that early and increase its capacity, I would rather do that now as opposed to later. Right here, that's a jetpack pad. We can't do anything about it now because obviously we don't have a jetpack on our back, but we will later on. Spoilers. There's a little machine there we might mess with later, but here's the weapon that I'm most concerned about getting, the homing launcher. And now's a good time to show how you can hotkey assign these things to the D-pad. And we also don't have to go back to our ship. We can just select the SS Anubis and go back that way. Although I think it's going to play the cutscene again, so we'll probably cut that out. But there's the machine gun. I'm going to set that to right. And the homing missiles I'll set to down. And now we press B. And one of these is the map. And we should just be able to go back to the other planet. And again, I'm just going to skip that cutscene. Cut it out. Okay, now let's do what we were supposed to do. Here's Magnus again. I don't know how he got here. Oh, he's gonna show us what happened anyway. That's kind of a neat cutscene, I guess. Alright. Ah, dang it, dude, I pressed A again. I was trying to switch my weapon, because that's what you press A to switch your weapons. Or B. Alright, let's go into the hold and actually complete it this time. Oh, I love this song so much. This room is awesome too. Like, what an awesome way to open up this game. Got another big ant here, one of the ones that captured Vela. Let's use our shotgun on him. Boom, popped his head off. Take out the sniper. See, that weapon's pretty cool, but it's not the strongest. No! No! Oh, 2 tribals dead. Luckily, let's just reload this area. Okay, let's try this again. I picked up ammo back in that main area, for the shotgun at least. See, that's a great example of ants can just pull out a grenade last second and either shoot it themselves or you accidentally shoot it and they're standing next to tribals. So a lot of the times I just stomach the grenades and I take the blow just to save tribals. Stupid teddy bears. Let's use our plasma shotgun again. Alright, we saved him this time. What else is in this room? Up on the top left wall is that, remember when we destroyed that panel and it said you deactivated a cell door? You could shoot it from down here if you didn't go up there and go to the depository first. Shotgun increased, okay. I think that's all. Let's go through the life force door. Now this one I always skip. It's right to the left as soon as you walk in here. Don't forget to destroy this thing. Because all the tribals in here are basically locked behind cell doors. It's the same electric cell wall that we saw Vela get put in. She's behind one too, so you need to deactivate them for her sake too. Yeah, some of these ants take forever to die. You can shoot them to accelerate their death animation. But they'll die eventually on their own too. Where are you, you dumb ants? Full ammo. That guy needs to die soon. There we go. Life force door. It's open. Alright, I'm done. Pistol capacity increase. Oh, this room's pretty neat too. Got another cell door thing here. I just love this, man. Like, see? I love it so much. What am I trying to say besides just make orgasm noises? Machine gun increased, yes! Yes! Hey, where are you? This song is so freaking good, dude. I'm gonna keep saying it every time we come back here. But see, one of the other games I wanted to Let's Play at some point is Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, but that game has even worse of the N64 fallacy of just roaming around doing nothing but holding forward on the control stick. Bump, 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 bump. But this game is at least, it's like an action adventure, right? And shooter game too. Which is nice, because even though it is big and roamy, you want to shoot this one up here, it's easy to miss this guy. And it's easy to miss one right here. Turn around, look into this pit, and there's one right here. I think there's a special gold ant hiding behind one of these crates. What's special about them is when they die, they drop a full... Yeah, this guy. He drops a full health Gemini. There we go. Alright, the main room that's got bombs and everything. Like, just awesome arena design in this game, too. Rather than being a big roamy adventure, it's kind of like a stage-by-stage, room-by-room action shooter. And I feel like that works better, even if it's not necessarily full of things at all times, you know? There are some more roamy planets that are more empty. But I guess my point is, with this game, it's kind of more... less noticeable, I guess. Whoops. Jumped on a proximity mine. Oh, hi, Ant-Man. And there's another hidden hatch thing here. And in here, behind the glass, you can see there's a tunnel that leads to something we can't do yet because we don't have Floyd the robot. We're gonna be getting him in Juno's next level. Because for this first half of the game, each character, Juno, Vela, and Lupus, kind of have their own planets that they go to. Planets and war vessels, I guess, because this is technically a warship. So this is another example of the room. The only enemies that matter for the life force door are those flying ones that just spawned as soon as I got up to this top part. They only spawn when you get to the top platform. So I'm just gonna wait here for that last one to fly back around in his pattern. There, that should open the door. And I don't think there's anything else of note in here. Well, there is one more switch up on this left wall. There, that should be every cell door, which is conveniently right behind here. Oh, there's this one too that's just kind of like a freebie. Shows you all the tribals are behind here, so we got 6 remaining. I believe we got them all, though. So yeah, there's gonna be 6 tribals, and Vela's in one of these, but I'll save her for the end. I just want to get all the tribals first. So I guess we're coming up on the end of part 1 here. Vela has a cutscene when we rescue her, we'll see that. But it's getting to be quite a long episode. Longer than it feels for me playing it, but I don't know how it is for you watching it. But I hope you stick around and watch the rest of this series, because this is a great game, very underrated. It does have its moments where it's not so great. Like the tribals can be a hassle, but it's definitely worth checking out. And it's definitely dated, too. It's got that going for it. But Alright, so yeah, we're going to be meeting up at Juno's palace. We just freed Vela, but we're still going to play as Juno. He's got 2 more planets to go to. Well, 1 more planet in Mizar's palace, but that'll be next time. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and is there a capacity crate here? No. But alright, I'll see you next time. Thanks again.